Hello, hello. This is Dark Souls 3, The Convergence. Now, The Convergence is a giant overhaul mod for Dark Souls 3, but instead of me explaining to you, why don't we just get into the, why don't we just dive in to the appetizer, or I guess the new classes are kind of the appetizer of what is new about this mod. So I'm just not gonna explain it, we're gonna go right in. And if I was clicked into the window, maybe I could actually go right in. The opening cinematic, I believe, is the same, but we're gonna watch it anyway just in case, because I didn't actually watch it the first time through. But I think this is just a movie, right? So, and we can read a little bit of Dark Souls through.
Where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge.
So I didn't talk about that in any of my Dark Souls 2. I just complained about it.
In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words.
What are they, lady? Please give them to me.
The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones.
Dead. Oh, rip that guy, I guess. I don't think it ever explains how pilgrims are created, or do they just naturally form that way, or who's sending them. I don't think it ever explains it.
When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls.
Do we ever actually see that bell? Is that the bell in Archdragon Age? It might be.
The old lords of Cinder from their graves.
Or it might just be a bell in Lothric that I just never paid attention to. God, this is loud. This is ignoring my sound settings, I'm sorry. I set this to loud. I set this to low and it's still this loud. I guess you don't have to hear me talk. Just kidding, you'll always have to hear me talk. Idiot.
Farron's Undead Legion, the Abyss Watchers.
Push Watchers.
And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant.
Why does he just... Isn't this guy supposed to be like a human or something? I'm taking the mic. Wow, this is loud.
Only
so why is he making weird animal noises?
The lords will abandon their thrones.
True.
And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is.
You don't have to be mean to me, you know?
That ash seeketh embers.
There we go. So, I guess we could just go over the new classes first. As you can see that there's a new class on screen already before we create our character. But for now, actually, you know what? We're just gonna go with Lost Soul, so I can just show off my character real quick. I can get over with that. So in my Dark Souls 2 LP, I came up with the character of Ayla, who was big and buff and also very smart. That was her character. Book smart, not like street smart or anything. She didn't know anything that was going on. So I decided that I would be making her brother for this. And of course, who would be the opposite? As in Dark Souls 2, I concentrated on strength and faith. Strength and magic. You usually go strength and faith, but you know. I instead, in this LP, I'm going to try and maybe do a little bit of dex and faith instead. You know, just to get a little bit of variety. We'll see. I know like there's an old like wisdom that's pervasive throughout the community that you pretty much want to concentrate on either just one or two of the attacking stats, and then concentrate on your secondary stats for like whatever you want, but when you're doing the build, and that's generally what you want to do. You don't want to pancake, otherwise you'll just be doing low damage, unless you're doing like a dark quality build, which I don't think anybody ever does. But you know, there's always the Great Sword of Artorias for the people who do that. I don't know how good the Great Sword of Artorias is in Dark Souls 1, but it might be good. So anyway, we're going to name him. You can see he's edgy, unlike Ayla, who's bright and happy. He's actually dyed his hair black. Don't believe his lies. And we're of course going to name him Kino after the Chrono Trigger character, who is not Ayla's brother, but her boyfriend or whatever, but you just ignore that. That's not weird at all, I promise. Okay, so let's go over into the meat, into the appetizer. The food analogy of the mod, which is going to be your starting classes. First of all, we're gonna go right into some of the new content with the Geomancer. Now, the Heretical Swamp. I read this Heretical Swamp and I tried to change it mid-sentence and it became Shromp. Cool. The Shromp is where the Shrek lives. I don't know. Heretical Conjurer originating from the Great Swamp. Quote, the earth itself responds to the flame. As to why, it is unknown. Unquote. Who said that? Why is it quoted? Who knows? So, yes, Pyromancy is now renamed to Conjuration Magic. So all the Conjuration Magic uses intelligence and faith equally, although maybe some of it scales more towards the magic side and faith side. I don't know. I've been trying to spoil myself the least about this mod so I can just go in and I can discover as I go through. But I did play about 5 hours of the build I planned on doing, just to see if it was going to be terrible. It kind of is, but I did get to the place where I knew my build magic was going to come from. So, like, a lot of my build tools and magic were going to be stored, or we're going to be in that area to pick up. So you know. Anyway, I should probably pull up the mod wiki, so that I can have that open. And so I can have the classes open. I thought I did, but maybe it's in another window. Who knows? I have like 10 windows open because I'm stupid. Okay, Geomancer. Also, these stats are wrong. So if I get it wrong, if I get some of the like magic wrong, the wiki might be wrong. So I'm reading the wiki. So, as you can see, the Conjuration Magic is actually all magic types in this game are actually split up into 4 different categories, so for 12 total. So the first Conjuration category is the Geomancy, which is basically you throw stones, like the boulder toss you get from Dark Souls, from the stray demon that's on top of the bridge after you get out of the Faron Keep, when you climb out of the Faron Keep, just past the old woof. The old woof. So the Covenant is in. It's called Stray Wanderers, and it increases casting speed by 15. I'm assuming that's the Geomancy Covenant, but wait, who knows? A bunch of these covenants are like a bunch of these starting covenants are kind of lumped together. So a Geomancer might share a covenant with a Pyromancer, you know, stuff like that. So you get the Hammer of the Great Swamp. That is wrong. That is not a hammer. So I guess this is old. Or is that... Yeah, but the Doused Flame right there on his left hand is what he has. So I guess the Hammer of the Great Swamp is no longer there. I don't know how much I can trust this wiki anymore, because it's a lot of this stuff is wrong. And that might be the Hammer of the Great Swamp. Who knows? Anyway, but so each of the magic catalysts actually has like different tiers of which it like the damage it supports. So with the Geomancer, with the Doused Flame he has on his left hand, that'll actually do 100%, it'll keep 100% of like a Geomancy spell's damage. And then it might do 80% of the, let me actually look up exactly what the Doused Flame does so I'm not too dumb. So the Doused Flame, please load. It's not going to load because of Wikidot. Anyway, so, oh, yep, operation timed out. Very cool. I love when that happens. Okay, so whatever. It's like it could, and then if you cast regular pyromancy with it, it might do like 80% or 40% or 60% damage, and then it goes down from there, and we'll get to the other types of pyromancy as we go through them. Next up, your classic Pyromancer. Why does it do that every time I exit out? Very cool. You got classic Pyromancer. And they come with the Demon's Fist, which is really cool. I believe that you can get that fairly early on in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It might be midway. It might be about midway through the game in Dark Souls 3. I know I used it. It's a very cool weapon. That is the Demon's Fist, right? Yep. Okay. So that's good that you can get it really early on if you want to start with it. It's probably still a boss soul. In what is it called? With when you make something with a boss soul in Dark Souls 3, and when you go to Loot Elf, whatever, who cares? So they start with the Pyromancer set, which is also like every good mod, all of the garb actually has effects. Like every single piece of equipment actually has effects. So the total Pyromancer set is going to reduce the cost of conjurations by 10%. I believe. Yes. Okay. And then your spells. Oh, I forgot to talk about the spells that Geomancer has, but I don't really want to talk about them unless I can see them. So it's... I guess I could talk about the type of spells they are, but let me see if the conjurations will open while I'm looking at them. I can have them all open. Or we could discover. I don't have to read about their spells. I can just discover them on our way. Okay, so the next type of pyromancy is going to be the Cryomancer. Now that's pretty cool. So as you can see, this hailing from the far north, these mysterious conjurers invert the power of chaos into ice for their own nefarious purposes. That's right. These are basically the painted world enemies. So you can cast ice magic instead of fire magic. I believe I read some of the lore while I was playing that the ice magic was a response to the chaos magic. So they were trying to fight off the chaos of the chaos flame with ice instead of fire. So that was the lore. That's why they have this. And then I think it mentions the painted world in a couple of the item descriptions as well that I was reading. Druid. Once a high-ranking member of the Druidic Conclave of Vinheim, Druids summon various creatures to do their bidding. So yes, this is your first of 2 summoner classes in the game. Now, I tried playing Cinders, and the summoner was so OP that I got really bored because I would just summon like a really, really OP guy, and he would just like kill every enemy in the map. But you know, it's not. I think they changed Cinders to be more like this, where it's now like a spell that you cast, and the guy just stays around instead of you having like a book and you can resummon them and anything. Anyway, they start off much weaker in this game. The summons start off much weaker. So yeah, this is your 4th type of summoning of Conjuration Magic, and this is it's called Druidism. I think it's called Druidism, yes. Okay. And then your next class here is the Holy Cleric. Now, Faith Magic is also split up, or Miracles, sorry, is also split up into 4 types. So you got your Miracles. Your Cleric is going to use, I believe, Physical Miracles. Physical Miracle, Spiritual, Individual. Are they called Physical Miracles? They're called Holy Miracles, I believe? They're called Holy Miracles. Yes. Okay. But they deal physical damage. So, it's actually split up into 4 different separate damage types. I clicked on the wrong thing again. So the Geomancer will do physical, Pyromancer does fire, Cryomancer does, I believe, just... does it do magic damage? Cryomancers do dark damage. And the Druid does magic damage. Okay. But all of them use strength and... all of them use faith and intelligence equally. All of the... things, all of these, I believe. That's what it says on the wiki. I know the classes are somewhat dated, but I don't think that's wrong, at least. Not that I've seen. I maybe need to look closer at the spell requirements to see if they're different. So, your first miracle type is your physical miracles. That's going to be your that's going to be Wrath of the Gods, your your holy miracles. I don't know why I keep saying physical. Force, your divine magic shield, replenishment, healing miracles, way of the right corona, stuff like that is going to be all your physical stuff. I keep pressing the wrong one, bro. Why do I keep doing that, dude? Okay. And then your next one is your Priest of Gwyn. Now this class specializes in lightning miracles, which I don't know if you know this, but don't tell anybody, but these cast lightning. That's how they differentiate themselves in the holy miracles. I don't know if they have any healing magic, but you can probably just put healing magic in your bar. All the holy miracles use faith. All the lightning miracles use faith as well. So you don't really need to worry about that. Next is your Blood Priest. Now, blood magic does dark damage and actually uses both intelligence and faith. So there is one type of miracle that uses both. And of course, it's the dark miracle. It's the dark branch of miracles, and that's going to be your gnawing, and that's going to be your gnaw, and I don't remember what this one's called. I don't know which one is gnaw, or whatever they're called. They're probably listed the right. Yeah, bite and gnaw are the two different ones. So that's going to be your thing. I really need to remember there's a specific place in the window where you can click back into it, but I'm not smart and I keep forgetting. A fallen cleric who now uses the blood magic of Rosaria. So yeah, you'll be part of Rosaria's covenant here. A lot of these specialized casting classes tend to be lower than the hybrid classes we'll get into later, but you know. Necromancer, followers of the ancient Gravelord. Necromancers call undead to do their bidding. Now this is just like in Dark Souls 1, the grave miracles do magic damage instead of like lightning damage, although in Dark Souls 1 there was only two different damage. There's like fire. I don't think any magic or faith used magic types, but did physical damage. I don't know if the force spell actually does physical. It might do physical damage. It might be where they got the idea to do that. But so they call undead to their bidding. This is your second summoner class. So this one's faith based rather than being like pyromancy or conjuration based. Sorry, and you get a couple more items for like controlling your summons as well. Next we're moving into our sorcery classes, and the first type of sorcery here is wind magic, or aeromancies as they're called. Why would it do that? Ferocian mage who claims to control the wind itself. He's still alive, so you can say claims, and he's still doing it. So there's wind magic. It does physical damage. So if an enemy resists magic, you could just use wind magic, and it'll do more damage to them. There's also, I don't know how cool this is. I ran across an NPC that did use it. Spoilers, I guess, but I don't know. It wasn't that effective, honestly, that I killed them. So, I mean, it was a low-level NPC, so who knows. The Sorcerer, a loner who left formal academia to pursue further research. Now, this is crystal-based magic. This is your vanilla magic, as you would say in Dark Souls. So, yeah, I believe both those spells are vanilla that they have on them, so there's not much to explain here. It is magic damage, of course. And both of these used exclusively. Now, Warlock, of course, using dark magic uses faith and intelligence, but more intelligence than faith. I believe if you wanted to use blood magic, you'd use a little bit more faith than intelligence, but you still do a hybrid build there. Exiled for heretical practices, this sorcerer seeks to learn more of the dark arts. Oh yeah, dark magic is still vanilla. I do like that there's different types of magic. It really fleshes out the world a little bit more, and also you can cross over. Like if you're a pure faith build, you can always use the 3 faith types instead of just using both. But if you're a hybrid build, there's obviously a lot more you can do. You can use pretty much all of the pyromancy magic, and as long as you have the souls to buy everything everything you need, and you could use like dark and what else was it? What is the other one? Blood magic pretty effectively as well. So I mean, yeah, obviously, if you want to be a pure caster, leveling both is the way to go. But if you want a physical stat, that might be a little hard. Light will always overcome the dark. This pilgrim returned from the lands of Ulasil. So this is light magic. It says light sorceries, but they do lightning damage. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use this in game. So it's gonna be a little hard to see what. So I have no experience with this. So hopefully we'll be able to see this at some point in the game. We'll be able to see an NPC cast this so we can figure out exactly what this looks like. But yeah, a lot of, like, basically all the Ulysseal sorceries from Dark Souls 1 are lumped into this category. Next up is your Alchemist. While not great warriors, Alchemists often use poison and explosives to overcome their enemies. So this is the pretty much item utility user. This is a really cool class. I kind of wanted to do this, but there's another class I want to do first. They have a really cool armor set too. That's so fucking, I'm such a sucker for Plague Doctor. I know it's so vanilla, but damn, that's such a cool look. I really like that. But I already planned on what I wanted to do, and I already kind of mapped out where I need to go, at least at the start. So I know I said I didn't look up a lot, but I will know the first couple areas. But hopefully, as we get further into the playthrough, I won't be more surprised by stuff, and I'll probably forget about some stuff and be surprised anyway. While not great warriors, alchemists use poisons and explosives to overcome their enemies. So yeah, there's a new mechanic in Convergence that adds like a new bonfire mechanic where you can craft stuff at the bonfire in exchange for a specific material type. And I guess alchemists probably get a bunch of that material type. Probably the covenant they're in might spawn it from enemies as well, so they can keep using their items effectively. They also have a lot of luck. An elite spy from Vinheim. Such sorcerers were employed for their skills with espionage. So this is your magic and dex-based class, I believe. Yeah. So a bit more of a hybrid class. Battle Mage is your strength and wind magic-based class, right here. Once a Lion Knight of Old Ferosa, this warrior has adopted the power of the wind. So you come with the Dark Souls 2 Ferosa set. Always nice to see this guy in a game. That looks so cool, dude. I really love that. I guess this would be Ayla's class if she were to be here and choose this from Dark Souls. Yeah, I keep mentioning your weirdo C that you don't care about. Hailing from Mira, these hunters employ hexes to detect and eliminate the followers of the Abyss. So apparently, blood magic users, blood magic people. I think this is blood magic. I'm not 100% sure. Eliminate the followers of the Abyss. I'm assuming this would be blood magic, but it might not be. What is Witch Hunter? I don't recognize either of those two spells. Witch Hunter. Is this even on here? There it is. Shadow form and something else that's not recognized. Children of Velka, I believe that's blood magic. Okay. I don't recognize that staff. So, I don't know why I said to hunt people from the Abyss and they're using Abyss tools, but whatever. That's fine. Ulysseal Vanguard, a Vanguard hailing from the Lost Kingdom. So yeah, they use light magic and they're more, you can go either way, but you have a little bit more physical stats if you want to branch off into physical stuff, which you probably should at some point. Unless you just want to pump intelligence all the way up to 60 or something. Once charged with the guardianship of the Painted World, this agile fighter remains devoted to the gods. That's the Blade of Gwyn. Now, this is your dex and faith-based class if you want to do that. Which I guess you could, and then if you really wanted this build, you could just use this class and then switch to it, and then just buy all the miracles of another class, but that's kind of a big pain. Is you can come with Morn's Ring if you really want to. I mean, I could definitely do this, but I want... how hard would it be to get the... I don't know if the vendor... I could technically do this, just to get maybe a little bit of a stronger start, but I don't know if the vendor sells the catalyst I need. I'm not 100... They absolutely do. That's a lie. Because I bought another catalyst from another vendor, and I swear to God, if that one doesn't have that, I might just choose this class because I kind of like their starting kit better. Vitality's a little low, but Vigor's high. So, you know, and I'm probably gonna switch immediately to the thing. I don't know what covenant they're in. It doesn't display, but it might be worth it just to choose this class right off the bat. We'll see. Once called Undead Hunters, these holy warriors follow the word of the Allfather. That's the Paladin. This is your strength and faith-based class for physical miracles, or holy miracles as they're actually called. Your Blood Guard, you got another blood magic-based class. Sadistic and cruel, they enjoy taunting their victims before cleansing them of their sins. So this is your blood-based class. I know that Vampirism, the spell at the right, is a really, really broken spell, but we'll see. if we can use that. At least it was in an earlier version of the mod I watched, where like some guy just decimated an entire group of enemies with it. Let me see something. I think actually the Witch Hunter was a dark magic user. I think Velka magic might be dark magic. Anyway, in this game instead of a miracle like it was in Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 1, you know, that game's a little unfinished. It's really great, but it's a little unfinished, if you know what I mean. So Death Knight, this is your second necromancy base class. A knight that has power over death itself, using it for a greater cause. And they come with Wither, I believe, which is damages enemies around you. It's like basically poisons enemies around you, but it's like an insta poison. And then the necromancy, it's like a flame whip spell that does magic damage instead of fire damage. I don't remember exactly what it's called. That's some good tea. The Izalith Legionnaire. This member of a once elite force did not survive the fall of Izalith. I guess he didn't yeah, I guess they technically is undead, so that's why he's dead. This is your more physical stats based fire conjuration class. I don't really know how to describe that, but yeah, if you want, I guess they're more dexterity based, so no strength weapon. You can always just go for strength weapon if you really wanted to, but anyway. Dreadnought. Always at the front lines of battle, these stalwart fighters use the power of earth to bolster their defenses. This is your physical conjuration based kind of strength based class. Holy crap, that he starts with 25 strength. That is insanity. He starts with 5 dex, which is gonna severely limit what you can equip, but that's insanity that he starts with 25 strength. That's really good. So this is your forlorn soldier. They start with the life with, I think, is that the life hunt scythe? Yeah, I thought those. I think life hunt is actually like blood magic. So, you know, this soldier still fights for the liberation of the painted world, employing the power of ice for that purpose. So this is your cryomancy, and then physical hybrid class right here, in case you really wanted to use that. Deranged hermit harnesses nature's raw energy for an incredible breadth of offensive and defensive capabilities. Yeah, I think he comes. Is that the summon? That's the summon heal right there, I believe. But he's not using it, a catalyst for it. So I don't know. But he's not. He doesn't have any summons equipped, so I don't know why he is using it. But anyway, this is your hybrid blaze class. They start with like kind of lower. They start with, I think, higher strength and dexterity than the other class. But let me check. They start with. Let me check the difference between these two. This guy starts with way more attunement, but not really that great of a trade-off, honestly. They start with way less vigor too, so you're gonna have to level. You're gonna have to put points into that class, into that stat anyway, unless you're just really good at the game. In which case, you don't even have to put any points into vigor. You could just min-max. Put vigor. You can put vigor at 0 if you wanted. If you were good enough, I think there's a base HP. I think if you actually put vigor to 0, there's not any drawbacks to it. I think, well, of course, if you have low, you'd have low health, but if you're good enough at the game, you wouldn't have to have any health at all. The Ranger, which is, I believe all of these next classes are vanilla, except for maybe a couple of additions with like rings and stuff, maybe a couple of things that change around. So I believe that's also vanilla. That's vanilla. That's vanilla. So of course you got your strength-based class. Your more. Oh, this is actually your quality-based class. This is your strength-based class. This is your dex-based class right here, and this is your range-based class right here, which is actually a higher quality, but they probably have lower secondary stats. Next, you got your Boletarian Survivor, soldier of Boletaria, who had his soul stolen by demons of an encroaching fog, foreign to this land. And this is your base. This is basically your deprived class, which comes with a little knife. I'm not sure exactly what that is. It's probably a Demon Souls reference that I don't remember. I have not played the remake, and I haven't played Demon Souls in like 7 years, so I don't know. And then you've got, of course, your classic 0 stat boy with a 1 in faith. So essentially, you'd lose like, what is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 89 points of stats. You essentially lose 89 levels to have this, and then you get, I forget what that is. Let me read at least what item he gets. Lost Soul. They get Soul Whirlwind. Spin through opponents with abandoned, soul-coated fists outstretched, emitting soul projectiles in all directions, which then seek nearby enemies. This skill changes based on the weapon's infusion. Weapons can be imbued with a wide array of different boss souls instead of normal means. Oh, that's cool. So as you kill bosses, your weapon gets stronger. That's basically what the gimmick of this class is. What does the Bolentarian Survivor have? They start with the Infectious Dagger. Okay, not sure what that is. And there's not links on this page, so I'm not gonna use the wiki.search because it'll probably crash. Very cool. Anyway, the class I was gonna choose is I wanted to do a Necromancy Magic or Necromancy Miracles, but which would leave me with the choice between the Necromancer and where is he? The Death Knight, which Death Knight looks really fucking cool, but unfortunately I kind of want to go Dexterity for this playthrough. And so I could just say fuck that and just go Strength anyway. But also they start with a higher level and less attunement. I think they start with the exact same amount of attunement. That's a lie. They start with a higher level though, so I want to start at a lower level so I can customize my build a little bit more than that. So we're gonna go with this. Of course I'm gonna pump Faith anyway. He starts with a little bit less min-maxed intelligence, honestly, but you know. And I'm probably gonna have to level Strength, but I just want to level Strength at a minimum value at some point, and I want control of what that minimum value is. And of course 5 Vigor is gonna be a big problem. We're just gonna have to like level the shit out of Vigor at the start of the game, and then probably attunement so we can get a 3rd spell slot so we can actually get some summons going. So yeah, we're gonna start out as the Necromancer. Of course, unfortunately, our face is covered, so we won't get to see his beautiful face, his beautiful twink face. But you know, we can always just take it off. I guess it's not that big of a deal to just take off like a 2% increase to FP. 2% isn't that much. Okay, and then we're gonna go for our For these, we're probably just gonna go for the alchemy reagents so we can craft whatever we want. And then face presets build, we're all good for that. Yeah, so that's our character. That's gonna be our starting slot. Our starting class. I think a lot of people probably choose Summoner class at the start, mostly because its summoning is badass, but anyway. I hope this build is not too vanilla. And I hope you've never seen this build be played before. I know I sure have, because I played 5 hours of this just to test in case this was way too hard, and it kind of is. Vort kicked my fucking ass, but mostly because I didn't have any health. But yeah, you might notice the graves look a little bit sus. It looks a little different than it used to, huh? Honestly, the filter isn't on right now. I thought the filter was on, the visual filter. Maybe that doesn't work. Yeah, there's the visual filter that makes it a little bit more orange. Yeah, so the this first area is now on fire basically, and then these enemies also cast Pyromancy. So that's a little bit better for like a kiln area, right? A little bit more fitting. So yeah, we're gonna start off by reading our little descriptions of our items. I'm gonna be doing that for the game just to make this LP way longer and way longer than it needs to be. Necromancer's Dagger, a dagger of the Gravelord's servants, once locked in the Tomb of the Giants. This blade was once an offering to Nito's faithful, and you can parry with it if you two-handed. Necromancer's Talisman, a disembodied skeletal arm pulled from the tombs of the lords, effective at performing necromancy miracles. So yeah, as you can see, magic damage, it will do 100% damage. Dark, it will do a little bit. It'll do like 80%. Lightning, it'll do 60, and like physical, I believe it'll do 40. I don't think lightning and physical are equal. I can at least check this one to know what I need to do. So I could cast blood magic with this pretty easily if I really wanted to. Unfortunately, that is also based on faith and intelligence, so that might be a big problem. But there are other talismans in the game that are magic based, so haha. Let me look up the spell. Let me look up just this spell tool real quick. I know I'm not gonna look up much more than that. I'm gonna only look up items I already have. So yes, I was correct. Okay, it's 100%, then 80%, then 40%, then 60%, then 40%. Assuming the wiki is up to date and correct on that. Okay, I'm closing this wiki tab out now, so don't read it. Okay. So let's read our little necromancy gears description. The hood of servants of the Gravelord Nito, adorning themselves in the skeletal remains of their masters. Servants of the Gravelord practice the miracles unto undeath. Such a visage is menacing, and many such priests practice their worship where others cannot see. It reduces cost of miracles by 2%. Yeah, I'm just going to take the hat off right now. But of course, you start with a young dragon ring, which increases all magic damage by 5%. Apropos to the dragon school, the seal depicts an everlasting dragon, so appropriate. A young dragon presages the great length of the journey to mastery. I can, out of context clues, I know what presages means now, but I've never heard that word before. And then, of course, you got your little summon tools down here. I took it off because I'm dumb. I want to do this, yeah. Green Separation Crystal, used to unsummon creatures called forth by Necromancy and Druidism. This crystal bears striking resemblance to the Black Separation Crystal, though it has no effect on sentient undead. This crystal severs the ties connecting a summoner to its minion, banishing from the master's side. Creatures affected by such crystal bear no ill will to their masters, for if they did, the summoning arts would have faded as quickly as they began. Targeting Crystal. A Searing Heart crystal carved from the sap of a great arch tree changes current target of summoned minions. The living are drawn to flame, and this crystal can serve as a temporary imitation of it. So yeah, you can control your minions like that. You can unsummon your minions by this if they get glitched or something, or you just need them to not fall off a ledge, and you can target enemies with this. So now I will use our little spell tools. Let's summon our little skeleton friend. Hello, skeleton friend. It comes with just an arm, of course. As you summon a skeleton, of course your summons are kind of weak at the start of the game. You do have to depend on yourself more than them. They are a nice distraction for a little bit, but bosses pretty much decimate them in like 1 second, unlike Cinder summons, which can trivialize boss fights. And then I can also buff the skeleton by doing this, by using the power of the necromancy thing. I read this, right? Yeah, disembodied skeletal arm towards the tombs of lords, effective at performing necromancy miracles. Okay, I didn't read the buff, but that's what it does. And then I guess I can read my magic as well. Also, the skeleton stays around until he dies, or I unsummon him, or I summon another being. You can only have one summon at a time. Conjure a skull and throw it at enemies, dealing magic damage. Skull throw. A sarcophagal offering of the Gravelord, conjured from ancient tombs and steeped in power. This skull was one of many that Nito collected over the years, and is still steeped in his lordly power. Call Skeleton. Raise a skeletal warrior as your minion that will attack your enemies. Unsummon using a green separation crystal. When this summon dies, it will not be resummonable until either Bonfire Rest, Warp, or Death. Summons are disabled in online play. Okay, that's basically like a tutorial description of summons. There's not much about the skeleton. Let's go. Yeah, it seems like my first hit does more damage. Okay, of course I got hit by the third guy. So yeah, he does a little bit of damage, but he does a lot of damage, but he will die very quickly because he has trouble healing. There's a spell later I can use to heal my minions, but that might not be for a while. Concussion Urn. That's basically a throwing item that does a lot of force damage, and it does a lot of stamina damage as well. It can knock people away. I guess I can use that too. I can show that off. We can throw it at some guy. Hey, some guy. Yeah. So if enemies are being a really big problem, you can basically use this as crowd control. That's actually pretty useful as crowd control for lighter enemies. Oh, I probably should be using my magic and not just smacking enemies in the fucking mouth. Okay, I can two-shot these guys at least. Okay. I feel like I'm doing more damage than I was in my last playthrough. Huh. I feel like I could not two-shot these guys last time, but I might be wrong. Yeah. Yeah, throw your shit. Yeah, they have Fire Flame, too. Or Flame Fan, I believe it is. Smoldering Stone. I'm not gonna go over there just yet. I'm gonna hit the first bonfire before I do that. And then, and get the Ashen Estus Flask at least. Yes, that is in this game. But FP regeneration is also in this game, which it honestly should be. I'm surprised they didn't add it into Elden Ring. I know Elden Ring Magic is powerful. I hope they make Elden Ring Magic a little bit more powerful so that, and they can justify that. I really don't like this change. I really didn't like the FP change, but that's just me. Yeah, my magic is really weak. Luck Elixir. I think enemies in this first area are weaker, and then enemies in this area are stronger, and they require actually 3 hits from the skull throw to kill. Ashen Estus Flask. That gets added immediately, right? Yeah, I want that in my... I need to adjust all of these. Unfortunately. Honestly, I could just have that. I could just have that in my hotbar menu. I could just have that in this menu. Yeah, I could just have that in this menu. Hold on. I won't be using this. What does this do again? I believe that restores your online connection or something? What does the way of the white circlet do again? I don't remember. Restore link to other worlds. Yeah, I don't need that. And then I can, like, switch that here. Okay. Now that all that maintenance is done, we can sit at the bonfire and learn a little bit more about what we can do at the bonfire. Rest. So, you can do some alchemy crafting. We did buy some stuff, so we can actually craft some stuff. So, all of these cost alchemy reagents, but some of them actually don't cost any souls, so that's pretty cool. What do we want? Dark, wind, poison, toxic, lacerating, plague. Is plague what I want? I think plague is what I want. But magic, frost, dark, wind, poison, toxic, lacerating, plague. I think plague is what I want, but I'll check later. And of course you got you got magic, dark, holy, lightning, poison. Lots of different types of urns to throw. Smoke bombs, creating a concealing plume of smoke. Smoke does not blind enemies, but rather obscures your body while standing within it. Interesting. So you can stand within it and enemies won't know you're there. Enemies will lose track of you. Okay, you also got your alluring skulls, just in case you want those. And of course, right here, these are greater alchemy reagents, so you need a bunch more. I'm assuming these are actually really good resistance resistance items. So what do I want anything right now? And of course, Firebomb is in here. Really cool. Was that in Vanilla Dark Souls 3 or is that just in Bloodborne? I don't remember. Sometimes these games get like mixed up in my head by what items I have. It's consumed a temporarily sprint with no stamina usage. Interesting. I'm not going to read all of these now. I'll read all of these off screen, but yeah, these are just like temporary heal, a little bit like little baby healing items. And then like some throwing knives if you really wanted those. I am going to buy these. I know there's a magic that does that though. The Homeward Bone might not be too bad. I wonder if my ring actually affects this damage. It might. Should I crafted 3 of those? Maybe not. Hopefully you can get a bunch of those later. Let me at least put them on my heart bar, so I can justify buying them. You at least summon my skeleton. Also, do not summon skeletons on stairs. I actually turned around the wrong way. If I had summoned him like right here on the slope facing up, he would have fallen through the world and died. It's just a bug that the game has, unfortunately, at this point. I actually need to level up because I need to level up my health. Because these bosses are hard in this game and will one-shot you if you have low health like this. Okay. We're gonna go fight the crystal. I actually did not fight... I didn't actually fight the guy in here, so I don't know if he's still a crystal lizard, giant crystal lizard or not. I could have actually had the skeleton go charge him. Get him. Get him, skeleton. Skeleton, are you dumb? Come on, dude. I could get another summon as well, but don't really want to. Also, the way the summons attract enemies are kind of weird. Like, sometimes it'll attract enemies, sometimes it won't, so we'll see. Is it still a crystal guy? Yep, still a ravenous crystal lizard. That was dumb. Oh, come on. Ow. Probably should have, I can't see. Very cool. Drink that. Yep. Dead. Okay, that wasn't too hard. Mostly because I used a skeleton to distract him. But I do shit damage with my knife, so you know, Titanite Seal times 2. Very cool. I don't think there's any other items back here. Oh, there is an item back here, huh? Are you a mimic right here? No. I don't know what he's doing. Estus shard. Oh! Okay, I missed that in my first playthrough. In my first little preview playthrough, I guess. Very cool. Is that there in vanilla? I don't know. But we did get a lot of souls, so we can level up our vitality a little bit. So we don't have to, like, the 2% from the hat, the 2% miracle reduction, FP reduction, might actually matter for, like, higher level spells, but for this spell, it's not costing that much, so it might only be, like, 1 point of FP, which could matter over time. So, and it might not actually reduce the FP at all, to be fair. I could test it, but I'm just spamming, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, we do need a lot of health. So I'm going to get this up to at least 20. So yeah, that's going to raise up my HP by, I don't know how much percent? By like about 60% right there. Just doing that. So I think that's worth it. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Summon my skeleton. He's probably going to fall off the ledge, but I'm not going to fight the boss on this first run, so that's fine. Is that actually a counter right there? Interesting. Arcane Crystal. Yeah, okay, my Covenant... Every time I kill an enemy, my Covenant has a chance to just give me a... like, an Arcane Crystal. And I can use that to, level up specific pieces of gear like these two. Like, these two weapons will actually level up base... Well, it will actually act as... The Arcane Crystal will act as Titanite shards for these weapons. They're upgrade materials. Okay. I guess I can just try to make this jump right now. See if I can do it. First try, yep. Titanite shard. So if I see a later weapon I really like, I can use that. Okay. Well, he's gonna actually try to path over there. Oh, he did fall down. These skeletons cannot go up ladders, unfortunately. Wouldn't this be cool if it acted like an alluring skull? Sure. I think it would be very cool if this acted like a Titanite Shard, wouldn't you say? I swear I was doing less damage on my last playthrough. I swear I was doing like 20% less or something. These were taking like 3 or 4 to kill of those to kill. I don't know what's going on. Probably shouldn't have gone for that, but whatever. Is there an item down here? Or are there just enemies? Let me actually do this. Where is it? It's this. You goddamn... Okay. See, that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, there's an item down here. Okay. Magic Urn. ×5. Probably should at least do this just in case. I do need the Ashenesis Flask out for a little bit because I know the boss takes quite a while to kill. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm just misremembering how much it took to kill the boss. Let's level up a little bit more. Our health a little bit more. And then we'll probably go for that next attunement slot and then level Faith Index a bit. We'll see. I'll probably be using this dagger for a while. At least as my primary weapon. Do I just run to the boss? Probably. Yeah, I'm just gonna run to the boss. Ow. I didn't see that coming. I'm dumb. It was very obvious. I could parry if I wanted to, but that's not very smart. That. The summons also cannot go through, doors, so they can't go through fog gates, so I'm gonna level up one more time. 21k. Okay. Need like another one or two more kills. Really, that didn't break his poison enough? Okay, interesting. Is that enough? Please tell me that's enough. Yep. We're just gonna level this up to 20, just so I have enough health to survive stuff. And that'll... Will that give me a 1,000? I think that'll give me 1,000 HP.